part of the SHIPIT Nation community. I enjoy the Discord. I get a lot of information out of the Discord, and then I use the site, so all the slate plans, slate info, all that, the DVP stuff. I would say join a site because they do help and you get all the information and it saves you so much time.
What's up, everyone? Tyler Tamboline here, a.k.a. ToeTagginTambo. Back with my guy Hoopster here for the NFL launch show. Going to be talking all things content, schedule, breakdown, everything over at The Nation. Coming off a huge NFL season last year. Hoopster, I'm going to bring you in to start it off, though, man. We got a lot of people, a lot of members, a lot of everybody out there in the chat, and had to have that little hype video to kick us off so we could get right to it. What's going on, my friend? It's NFL Eve, the best time of the season.
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, it seems like not too long ago we were just, wrapping up the Super Bowl content and kind of covering that. And then, we're already back, man. And we're back in a big way. And it's a very exciting time for, not only, fantasy players, people in the content space, people that love watching the NFL. I mean, it is it's full throttle from here on out, more Showdown games, standalone games. We have this Friday game coming up. There's some doubleheader Monday night games as well. So a lot to look forward to. I mean, it's Christmas Eve for people in our industry. I mean, could not be more excited to get things going. Our second full NFL season, we launched about a year and a half ago. It's our second rodeo, and man, it's going to be hard to top. I kind of tweeted something out earlier. It's going to be hard to top what we did last year, but with our team, with our community, I feel like we can do it, man. I really do.
Yeah, golf was incredible all season. I know it's taking a short break before we'll be back with the swing season, but lots going on. I'm going to kick it back to you in a second, Hoop, but before I do, just to set it up for everyone so they know this is not a week one show. This has our show schedule coming to you guys. We've got Thursday Night Football show starting tomorrow. We're going to have a show for the Brazil game on Friday. We're going to have our main slate show on Sunday. We're going to break all that down and more, but just want to talk quickly about the goals of this show. So we're going to break it down. We're going to talk about our schedule for our content on the site, when it comes out, what to expect. You can put Q&A in there anytime. You can put questions out there. We'll answer them as we go along. But just so you know, a lot of giveaways coming up. More on that in a minute. And then we're going to talk about our show schedule. Anything else you guys want to know, you can throw out there. But Hoop, I'm going to start with you, and I'm going to share this screen. You posted a little tweet. Obviously, we've got members in here watching, but then we also have prospective people wanting to join the community or thinking about it or whatever it may be. And you put this tweet up earlier. I'm going to try and zoom it out here. This post now on X, as they say. But talk a little bit about this, because obviously last year you mentioned it off the top, very successful, very fun. But talk a little bit about just what we're all about over here at The Nation.
Yeah. So, I mean, when we started this, again, right around a year and a half ago, you and I got together and we kind of started talking like, hey, what can we do to improve what's going on in this industry? The one thing that, immediately came to both our, minds was, man, like the cost for content has skyrocketed lately, and it prices out a lot of people. I mean, it takes a lot of people that want to be a part of a community and have a home for content and DFS conversation. It kind of prices them out. So we wanted to create a spot where people could come and not necessarily breaking the bank, and we've held true to that in terms of the price tag for our various offerings. Obviously now we're at the point when we started a year and a half ago. We're doing baseball and PGA. We knew that we wanted to add on other sports. Obviously, NFL was going to be a big part of what we do, but now we're at the point where we offer content for all 8 main sports on DraftKings. Yes, there's other sports on there, and we have a Discord channel that kind of covers some of those other, I would call them like niche type sports, but all the main stuff we have covered, and our content is very consistent sport to sport. So you know what you're getting. You know, we have the stone, we have the projections, we have the core report, we have the value report, we have the slate plan, and that kind of is consistent sport to sport, as you see here. And we'll kind of go through and talk through it also. If you are, you know, thinking about joining us, you know what you're getting into. But that was the goal and the mindset. And I, you know, honestly can say, you know, we have accomplished that one main goal. I mean, that's kind of was our vision as a company, was to, you know, provide affordable DFS content and without compromising and cutting any corners. And we've gotten to that point. I feel real good about it. We've added on the Shiptimizer as well, a very affordable optimizer. Some of these optimizers, big price tags. This is an affordable option for people to have an optimizer and play around with it, see if you like it. And obviously our community has helped build the features of the Shiptimizer to fit what we are kind of looking for. And, you know, part of that tweet was just to, again, let people know what we're all about, what they can expect. And again, tons of success last year. Like out of the gate, I would have never have thought, you know, year one in our community, we'd have 2 Million Maker winners, multiple 6-figure wins. I mean, countless, not only from us. I mean, I had a great NFL season. I know you had your best NFL season, but so many people on our team, in our community, best NFL seasons ever. Very cool to see. But again, you know, we're putting in all the work to make it an even better year this year. Our team is stronger. You know, still a tight team. You know, we keep it very tight. We're very specific about who we bring on board to represent us, to represent our team, to represent our offerings. You know, very specific about who we bring on. But we've improved that. Our community is now even bigger, more support. And again, we've kept the commitment to keep the prices very, very affordable, and it represents the best value in the industry. There's no doubt about it. And just very excited to hop in, you know, second season, our second NFL season, just very excited. And again, I think we're going to have an even bigger year this year. It's going to be hard to top, like I said, because we had a lot of success last year, but I think we're on the right path to make it happen. Excited to embark on season 2.
I think it's possible too, because the community is a lot bigger, right? So we more than doubled in size since last year. I think that's going to be a huge factor when you think about all the people that have hopped on board, and it's not just looking for picks, plays. We talk about it all the time, process and progress. The word progression has progress in it very clearly, and that's what it's about. You're working hard to get better at the game every day. We've got education courses for all the sports. If you're getting ready for NFL, you can take a 4-hour course that other sites won't even spend time on to give you, right? You go here, you click member access, and you're in. But just to break it all down, you go down, there's a whole process for goals, mindset for the year, getting ready to set yourself up for success. So you're not just shooting, you know, whatever in a barrel. You're just trying to play. This sets you up for everything, including live finals, roster construction, the process, all of that. So just to give you guys an idea here, I'm going to flip over to the site for a second, Hoop, just so they can see. If you go to the site, you go under more education, NFL, this would be the time now. You click in, you can watch the video, click to any parts that you want, and be able to go through it. But before we spend time on the site, I'm going to give the first giveaway out. It's going to be for members, because they're going to know what happened last season. But if you're already a member now, you could give one too. Or if you're joining up, you'll have more to make this year. But Millie Ticket Memories. We're going to give away $300 Millie Maker tickets. And we want to get your best memory from last NFL season. So we always want to take care of the people that have been there for us. We're going to start with that. And then we'll talk more on the giveaways for those just joining us for the first time today. I did see one up there. Like we said, we take some of these questions as we go. Shout out to our guy, David. I know he just joined. We appreciate you, David. Says, I'm looking forward to DFS with you guys this year. Any giveaways all the time? Just a note, we gave away over $20,000 last year. Founding family members have another free roll in their email that we're taking care of them because they're taking care of us. So lots of things that we do throughout the year. There's going to be some big giveaways, over $500 worth of giveaways in the Discord tomorrow night for Thursday Night Football. So get in there, celebrate a little bit before Slate Lock. But he says, if we use the avatar and take down a win, any rewards for that? If you go on the site under more and click logos, we give away $6,000 a year just for rocking the logo, $500 a month. The whole breakdown is in the Discord, how you guys can do it. But this is for anybody. Essentially, you put the logo in, you tag us on X at SHIPIT Nation with any big wins, anything. It's a ROI is king. It's not about 500,000 or 5,000 or whatever it is. It's anything you win. Tag us in there and you get into the draw for the cash giveaways. So lots more on that. Hoop, anything you want to add or any other questions you saw pop up first before we pull up the content schedule?
Just one comment, which kind of
welcome back. Go ahead.
Yeah, what kind of fits what we're all about. It kind of backs up my tweet a little bit. Yes, sir, Tambo and Hoop, you guys came a long way and made it possible for guys like me to find a community that was affordable and all about teaching how to get better at DFS. Thanks. Yeah, it kind of takes it to the next step that we also wanted to talk about here on the show. His first part of the statement kind of coincides with my tweet, but all about teaching how to get better at DFS, something that's very important to us and what our product's all about. We don't want you coming to our site and, give me the winners, make me a winner on day one. Like, that's not reality. And any company out there that's saying, we give you winners and we're picking winners and you're going to be a winner every day, just like me. Like, that's not the right mentality. That's not the right mindset. It's not possible. I mean, that's a lie. I mean, it's just not truthful. So our offerings, our content offerings, are all about making you a better player. A wide variety of different content pieces that you can use. Each piece of content is all part of the puzzle. That's what we kind of always say. We're all about making players better, opposed to picking winners and giving winners and guaranteeing that we're going to make you a winner. That's just not the reality of it.
Yeah, we give away quite a bit, even with the company and outside of it. Hoop did a bunch of giveaways out of his own pocket throughout the season last year. I did a bunch with the live finals that I made, offering I would have given away up to as high as $50K. That was definitely something we talked about. So shout out to our guy Bader Bear, Jason's there, and Sin Nation. We could say that one, Hoop. You got to sin it to win it. Is that the one? We could get that slogan.
I like that.
But
I like that.
Yeah, somebody else asked this too. We're going to get to ShipItmizer in a second. We're not going to do a lot of selling on the price and all that. The early bird pricing is up. You can click it and get in for the whole season. You can go to Join the Nation and see the breakdown. It's all there. We'll probably show it at the end. But just so you guys know, ShipItmizer is a big deal for us. Like, we spent a lot of time, almost 6 months, working on this behind the scenes to try and make this thing a go so that we could get it for as many sports as possible. So far, we're up to 6 of our 8. We're just missing college football and NHL, and we're working vigorously at getting those. Obviously, we've got a little more time with NHL. I'm not sure how soon we can guarantee college football with the Superflex format, a little bit different, but we did put the time into it, and we are. I'm using it for sure. Use it for golf. Very easy to set up the exposures. I've done full tutorials on the site for members. You can just go here under more tutorials. Talk about value. We spend it all the time. It's not just in the money that you save. It's in the time. Time is money. We talk about this all the time. You can go in and learn how to use everything on top of the education courses right away and know exactly how to use it. If you're on a page, it tells you how to use the tool for the page that you're on so that you don't need to feel like, I'm going to be asking a newbie question in Discord. First of all, you still can. There's no such thing as a stupid question, a wrong question. It's very professional in there. The hospitality is one thing that we focus on, and it's not just with the people that work here or ourselves. It's with our members as well. We don't really put up with any shit when it comes to that. So you can ask anything, but we try and also make it easy for you to be able to find the answer yourself right there on the site. We keep it short and sweet so you can find that along the way. Hoop, anything there you wanted to add? If not, I didn't see any other questions. I'm going to go right into the schedule here.
Let's keep it rolling.
All right, so we don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but we do want to highlight some key pieces. And I think this is the portion or the part where people, always are looking for, just the core plays or just what this might be. And, we talk a lot about process. We've already went through some of that, but the bigger focus is that it's kind of got something for everyone. And we want to make sure that you can find your own process. That doesn't mean you use all of it. I think that's just a stopping point for me for 2 seconds here. There's an absolute ton of content out there. We make a lot, other sites make a lot, and a lot of it's very good. I get that. But I'm sure if you're out there, you can relate to this where there's content overload, paralysis by analysis. There's just too much. Some of these sites, you hit the drop down and there's 50 plus items there. Is that a good thing? Maybe. You're at least you're getting something for the money you pay. But I always talk about it like this, like a quick restaurant analogy. I love my food. You guys know I love my analogies. But if you went to a restaurant and they said you can have 3 steaks or you can have 1, it sounds like on paper, like 3 steaks is the deal. Let's get the 3 steaks. But then you find out they're all sirloin marinated. They're not really the best cuts. They're just kind of thrown together. So are they 3 steaks? Yes. But what about when you find out the other one is a T-bone or a filet mignon or a porterhouse or a Wagyu beef or something of your choice? That's our focus. We're not saying they don't have those versions. I'm just saying you dig a lot more for it with us when you go here. And it's no secret that we do the little things, the stone, the core reports, the player pool, the slate plan, the stone, the core reports, the slate plan, the player pool. You know what I mean? You're getting all this stuff in the same type of order, the same setup on the site where you're finding the same thing for each sport so that you can get used to it. And we're going to show more on that in a little bit here, just when it comes to some of the tools. But Hoop, anything you want to elaborate on the offerings that we have, and then I can pull them up as you go through it.
Yeah, one thing I did want to add, because it brought back a memory from last season, and you kind of talked about we're not just all about the core plays. Who's playing this week? Who's Tambo's core? Who's Title's core? We're not all about that. Like, we have a lot of different content offerings, but it was the week, one of the many Dak weeks. If you're new to SHIPIT Nation, just want to let you know Dak Prescott treated us very, very well. Last season, historically, have talked shit about Dak as being a terrible quarterback, and Cowboys can't win with him. That still remains true. But on the fantasy side of things, paid dividends last year. So there's a little joke like Dak's a business decision for Hoop, and worked out well for myself and the community. But I can remember one week, I think, I can't remember exactly what week it was, a little later in the season, but I was on Dak again. He was in my core, big part of the content that I had put out there. And I think I won like $50,000 on Sunday, and you had sent me a screenshot right when the slate ended, and you had won $100,000. Like, man, so Tambo got on the Dak train as well and made $100,000 today. But come to find out, you were on a completely different stack. I believe it was a Washington stack.
Stack,
yeah, it was the Washington Washington Commanders stack. And that came from a different piece of content. I believe it was the slate plan on our website. And it just goes to show you that you can different pieces of content, different ways to go about winning. But I had just kind of assumed you kind of piggyback the Dak talk, but you were on a completely different thing and found a way to ship using our content. So that was just one thing that kind of stood out to me from last season when you were talking about like the core plays and whatnot.
Our guy Nate threw it in there. Yeah, I used the Hamwich. Shout out to my guy Ham, the Hamwich slate plan, which he'll be doing. We're going to get to that in just a second. Don't want to spend all day on it. I do want to answer this one because this has been brought up, but we talked about this from the very start. FTN, Caleb over there is a great dude. We have a partnership with FTN. I've done shows with Alex Blickel. The optimizer stems from the same skeleton, the same shell, but that was the difference. Why? It's white labeled. Like Shiptimizer's ours, we helped. There was no NASCAR over there originally. There was no add-ons with tee times and all that to the PGA stuff. There's been official add-ons. There's other sites that use it too, but the key is it's what allows us to do is our members brought for 2.5 months, I think it was, where we gave it for free, where they just brought us feedback to bring to the team to be able to develop it and put that out there. So I think that's the key. You have to know there's other sites that use it as well, but it's what other sites are charging for it versus what we're able to charge for it and keep it so that you can buy an all access pass to everything you see here on the site, all the education, all of the sports, Shiptimizer, plus all the upgrades for less than $100 a month. And if there's any promos on and things like that. So there's a lot going on with Shiptimizer, but we've sort of created, and that's why we called it the optimizer designed to ship, is we've put the time in. Our community has helped build our end of what we offer with that optimizer. So we're going to the developers and saying, here's what we want. And then they're bringing it back to that. But as Vinny says, his best memory is how transparent everybody is. Shout out to my guy, Vinny. First $100 ticket that I'm going to give away is to my guy, Vinny. He's been here for a long time. Appreciate him. He's talking the talk. We are transparent. We do what we say we're going to do. When we put in the education course about the live finals and then show up at them, it's not just that. You can't guarantee that to happen, but we do what we say we're doing, and we do it with the content. We do it with our people. We do it with the community. He talks about the content being up early, and he has a job. That's what I was talking about earlier with the content overload, all that. Less is more. Time is money. We want it to be as easy as possible. So, Vinny, reach out, info@shipitnation.com, or in the Discord, you can just send me a DM, and I'll get you set up. You'll be the first $100 ticket winner. And yeah, no problem. We always want to clarify that. Make sure, and Joe talked about it, people listened and helped instead of just keep grinding. You'll get there. That is what we're trying to do there as much as possible. Hoop, any other memories you want to bring up there? If not, I'm going to go to some of the stuff on the site here.
Yeah. Just to piggyback what Vinny said, then you picked up on. Yeah, that's another thing that we're all about is getting our content up nice and early, with the understanding that things can change. And if things do change, it'll be highlighted on our content, or there'll be a message posted in Discord. But I know how it is. It can be super frustrating if you're paying for something and you're sitting there waiting and nothing's coming through. We want to get you some initial thoughts up there with understanding things can change. And if they do change, it'll be highlighted, or there'll be a message in our Discord to let you know that there was a significant change made. And that's another thing that we're kind of all about.
And if you guys aren't a member right now and wanted to check out some of the stuff for free, you can go right now within minutes just from putting your email address on the site, sign up, and get Hoop and I breaking down Showdown. There is 2 very big Showdown slates coming up tomorrow and on Friday. So if you want to get that mini course for free, it's just an email and a sign up, and then you'll get an offer eventually. But just to say it, that's a good way to get in. But let's dive in, Hoop. Let's go through.
One more thing. We might end up giving away more, and that's fine in terms of the giveaways. But this one just has to. We're going to get this taken care of right now. We're going to get this one out of the way.
It should be banned for these comments. I already know Grandma's wheelchair is coming up.
Yeah, and you're going to hate it, but we have to. I mean, it has to be acknowledged, Tambo.
We should double charge their account for bringing this up.
It was a huge part. It was a huge part of the shows last season. I mean, just a great talking point. I think it made it all the way to the Super Bowl before you said, "Hoop, enough is enough." Like we're not talking about this anymore. But it is worthy of $100. So Joanne's getting 100.
And Joanne is amazing. So Joanne, reach out. I'll get you set up there. $100. We'll send it over to you so you can play in the $100 Millie Maker on Sunday. But let's go through
no more wheelchair talk this show, but there's no guarantee. I mean, honestly, there's
I'm
no
deleting the comments moving forward. These guys know already.
You're going to get AI working behind the scenes to delete any reference to a wheelchair.
We got bots in the Discord that have been taking care of business. You don't believe me? Just look up some keywords and see if you can find any reference to them. They're not there. So let's do the shows first. And I apologize because we don't have a show graphic up yet. But just so you guys know, when you go to our site, all of our shows are free. You just go to shipitnation.com, bookmark it right now. Even if you're not a member, you can always get access to our shows for free. Those are all up there. They're posted. But just so you guys know, we'll go Monday through to Sunday, which we kind of know what it is. But Monday, there will be 2 main shows. First off, it'll be the Takedown Breakdown. Formerly was the review show. It's going to be very similar to that. Myself and a guest, probably Nades, like it was last year to start off, but I'm going to try and get some other guests mixed in throughout the year. Maybe some GPP winners, maybe some members, maybe some stuff like that. So that's going to be a show that everybody loves, especially people that are in our culture of wanting to get better and learn from the game. Monday Night Football is going to be Hoop, Title, and myself, the same crew you know and expect. Then on Tuesday, it's going to be myself and our guy Degenerate75. Shout out to James. We're going to be doing the first look every Tuesday. So that's going to be breaking down the week in front of you. I don't think we had the chance to do it for this week. I don't think we're going to get the chance to do it for this week because we had this other stuff planned. But just so you guys know, starting next week, we will have that. What else? Hoop Thursday Night Football with Hoop, Title, myself. Friday is going to be myself and Mayo recorded and then put out the collaboration with the lineup construction. Hoop and Title will be doing the cash show. And then on Saturday or Sunday morning, Nades and Ham are going to do the Sunday Night Football show recorded. And then we'll also have our standard main show Sunday mornings. I believe it's going to be 9:45 Eastern, but subject to change. Hoop, Title, and myself, again, breaking down the main slate for you guys. A ton of giveaways, all of that. The only ones that are off our channel are with our guy Mayo on the Mayo Media Network is Thursday Night Football. So that will be on the Mayo Media Network. And the recorded show that him and I do on Fridays for the roster construction. Did I miss anything, Hoop? Because all these shows are free.
Yeah, that's the main point. All free. Very similar schedule to last season. It worked out well. We kind of had the mantra from the beginning, less is more. We don't need to go on 15 different shows throughout the week and talk about all these different things. Concise schedule, you're going to know concise show schedule. You're going to know exactly what our thoughts are for the Thursday night game. You're going to know exactly what our thoughts are for every single main slate game. You're going to know exactly what our thoughts are all throughout the week. And, cash games, GPPs, whatever sort of contest you're playing. The schedule worked out well last week, and we're just basically going to run it back and looking forward to it. And like you said, what's you're saying about the same place, same time, same people, like that's important to us. Like
the same people you know and expect. You're watching the TV show and they try and swap the dad to a different actor. Yeah. You're done with that show. It's just trash at that point.
Yeah. Yes. So, very excited. Very excited. The Thursday Showdown show tomorrow is going to be great. Can't wait to talk about that. And then, we have a Friday standalone game as well. I think it's in Brazil. We'll have coverage for that. Show schedule. Very, very excited for what we're offering in terms of the shows.
Yeah, it's going to be good. And one other thing, just like Hoop mentioned earlier, but just try to keep it, to the less is more. We have just the shows we think you need. A lot of sites have a cash show that's premium or whatever. And I get that. Again, to each their own, that's for them. Our goal, just like with our content, is to make it affordable. How's free sound for shows? Pretty good. and to make it just as valuable. We want to pack as much in that we're playing the same games these guys are playing. We have the same resume or better in a lot of cases as these guys for finding success. But the big thing that stands out for me.
Whoa. Same resume or better. Let's stick with the latter, right? And better resume.
I'm not about it. I'm not all these people.
But that's where we can kind of back that up, though. That's a factual statement. Better resume than most of these people talking about this shit throughout the week.
It is true, but I don't care about that. What I was going to say is that if you even whatever you want to believe is up to you. But my take would be this: we have a better track record of helping people win money and make money. It's documented. That is
the important statement.
You're right. That's what it's really about. Not the best. I think Justin Thomas said this recently about some people out there and, it was about the Ryder Cup. I think he said that you don't have to be the best player to be the best coach. The best players in the world are teaching DFS, but I think we're great players. And I think we're teaching DFS for a longer time and helping others find the success. It's in the chat. It's documented. You can find it. So I think that's the case. And shout out to Carolina Reaper. I think the projections here are better than others. Shiptimizer is also good. That's a good segue to go over here right now. So I want to show something quick. Starting it off, we're not going to show everything because we're just going to hit it up. But
yeah, just one thing from Andrew. I mean, this is an important aspect of playing DFS, and especially on Sundays. So your 5-year-old daughter's soccer game at Sundays, 1 p.m. Lord time zone. So what is that? That would be that's an hour after lock, isn't it? You should be good then. Right, prior to lock and not getting. I mean, it's right around lock time, so you got time. But yeah, I mean, for parents with kids that have the activities, I mean, you gotta, the family's very important for sure. But yeah, you should be good with this time zone. I'm assuming 1. What is that? That would be 2 Eastern. Yeah, you're good to go.
Or just it depends on what you're playing. Like if you're a one lineup person, then you can set it early on. You can set it early Sunday morning before you go out and then just say, okay, I'm keeping an eye on this stuff or whatever it might be. That's kind of the setup here of how you do it. You just want to make sure that you know what you have to manage. And that's what our education course talks a lot about, setting up your mindset for what your situation is. That's kind of the setup there.
Yeah. And then, if you're successful, it makes it a lot easier to dictate your schedule. So
like that, a few of those soccer games. So real quick, just going to break this down. The projections are up. We've got our initial projections. So just so you guys know on projections, the way it will work, this week we're getting to it as we speak, but most of it's up now, but just so you guys know how it will work moving forward, Wednesdays will be the initial projections and ownership for the classic slate with an update Friday night after the injury reports and everything comes out, with an update on Sunday morning leading right up to lock and right up to the afternoon set, so on and so forth. Obviously, if there's any big news that comes out, we will update for that as well. We want to be on top of it no matter what, making sure that's taken care of. All the changes will be reflected in the Stone, which I'll show you guys in a minute, and in Shiptimizer, of course, as well. So as soon as the change is made, we alert the Discord. If you're not in the Discord and you're a member, you just go to account, connect to Discord. If you become a member, you can get in right away. The welcome link is in your email, so you can check it out there. If not, that's just how you hop into it. But like Higo says, the notifications save me. We have it separated out, again, just to keep it better for you, that if you don't give a shit about MLB, PGA, and MMA going on this weekend, let's just make an example here, you will only get the NFL notifications. You can completely separate it. We've set the Discord up completely clean, try and keep it easier for you from that perspective. Shout out to my guy out there I don't know if he's watching right now, but he wants the CSV name sorting fix. People do use our projections and aggregate them and go out and make their own stuff. We have the name sorting fix to make your life easier so that you don't have to worry about all the ex ante goos and all this stuff as you're going along. So we really try and go the extra mile, the true sweaty try hard mantra that our guy Degenerate 75 brought to the team when we merged with him back in February. So all the little things are what we're trying to account for. And like I said, these go right in to Shiptimizer. So the main slate, when you go here and click Shiptimizer NFL, it looks like this. We have tutorial on the site. Somebody just asked it here. No tutorial yet for the Showdown slate. That is correct. Yeah. So I don't know where the question went, but not yet for the Showdown slate. I'll show a little on that in a second.
Yeah,
but
and just to touch on that point, during the show tomorrow, we'll have this up and we'll go through and build some lineups on the show and walk through the actual process. So that's definitely one way you can get used to using this product is to watch the Showdown shows, because we will be screen sharing.
Yeah, we're going to start incorporating this a lot more in. There's no secret sauce that we need to hide this stuff. Like, you want this, you can join and get it. It's all there. Like I say, you see the full drop down, all this and more. And we haven't even talked about our core reports, value reports, player pool slips, things like that are just extra pieces to look at if you don't have time or you want to know that or whatever it might be. So Hoop, well, I'm going through this real quick. Maybe find one other person, because we've got, what do we got? We got Vinny, Joanne. We got one more to give away. So what's the likes at right now? That's another thing. If you just joined us, almost 200 watching, we appreciate you all watching live, but we're going to ask for it throughout the season. One way you can show good faith with us is to make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's easy and it's free. So do me that favor right now if you can, just while I'm going through Shiptimizer and Hoop. Anything else you find, just pull up the questions as we go along.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So all in here, you can see it's broken down, quarterback. You'll see all of this, very easy to use. It's got the teams, the prices, the positions, the spreads, the totals. All of that is in here. We have ceiling projections, ownership projections. You can boost. You can change your exposures easily. There's tons of build settings. We even have presets to put you in a better position for these large field, high dollar, large field, bigger field type tournaments that you're in, milli makers, that sort of stuff, that you can just turn the presets on, or you can just set it back and go to default and do it your own way. Again, we have full tutorials on the site for the main site one already up. It's about 30 minutes. You guys can check that out. We break it all down for you and more. There's a ton of team stacking options. Let's say you only want to stack wide receiver and tight end. You don't want any Kyler Murray stacks with the running back. You can turn that off. Like, there is a ton that you can do with this optimizer. Set it up for game stacks, secondary game stacks. If you want any running back DST set up you can do that. You can force naked lineups where you're not putting any stacks in. You just want Jalen Hurts, and you can set that up too for turning off naked quarterbacks. I only want Kyler and somebody else, let's say, and you move it from there. So lots of different ways that you can set it up. The group setting is there. You can see all your lineups. You can save them from here, download them, upload them, whatever you want. There is late swap included, up to 300 lineups that you can build at one time out here. I always say it though, Hoop, we don't sugarcoat it. We don't hide it, nothing like that. But is there optimizers out there that have more convenience features that go the extra mile? There is. Again, very transparent. We don't hide that. Do those cost 3 times or more than ours? Yes. And that makes sense. They do a lot more. The developers have put even more extras and time and pieces into that. But our goal is always going to be to bring you the majority of what you need and require and the best possible version of it at the most affordable price. Our mission is simple. The most affordable value at the most value at the most affordable price. Better way to put it. So give you the best deal, give you what you need. Some of those convenience features you'll be missing out on. If you want them, we're still partnered with the solver. You can still use other optimizers. But my point would be, and even if you're on a projections page, that's what I was talking about earlier. We do the extra stuff. You can download the CSV and bring it up to another optimizer. You can copy paste it over. You can adjust it to what you actually want it to show and the slates you want it to be and all of that. We have everything set up for you to use very easily on the site, and then do what you want with it from there. Anything else to add on that, Hoop, before I go into the Showdown one real quick?
Yeah, and if you're using it and there's features that you like that other optimizers might have, you can always shoot us a note and we'll add it to the list, because the one thing that we're all about is adding on and improving our current product, and that same can be said for the Shiptimizer. And then in turn, one just quick message.
That's why.
Way better to do this on a computer than an iPhone. I'd say basically every optimizer is going to be much easier to use it on a computer opposed to on the cell phone. So yeah, definitely easier to use on the computer.
100% agree. And that's kind of the idea there. We want you to, spend time on it when you can, but that's the nice thing about NFL is you sort of have all week. So if NFL, if you're playing Showdown slates and that too, you still have time to get it in and go there. But I'm going to show you guys the Showdown one. It's still under the same spot. You just go to NFL. All I did was change over from Maine to Baltimore at KC. You can see it up here. You can swap from captain to flex. You can see all their projected values, ownership, all of that there. You can still use the settings. You can change the captain parameters. There is some presets that we're getting set up in here. So just so you guys see there, you can kind of set it up to what's worked for other big winners in the past. And then you can finagle it from there, but it's mainly meant to be so if you have no time at all and you're like, well, shoot, I got to get some of these lineups in, but I'm in this milli maker tournament. I got to make sure I cover it. Then I think you're going to want to just to go in under here and go to the build settings and use the presets. It's going to put you in a lot better spot than you were before. So we'll get to the DVP rankings in a second, but that is correct. Definitely going to break that down for you guys. There was a question, Hoop, you want to talk about this one real quick? Because Waylon asked about any macro strategy takes, and I think our guy G. Ryzen brought up a good one. For those that don't know, I tweeted this a couple of weeks ago. It was brought up again by somebody else yesterday. not only has FanDuel gone away from the live final to the online final, but they did add some scoring changes. So I'll cover those quick, and then Hoop, if you got anything to add. But they brought in the bonuses, kind of like DraftKings. It's still a half-point PPR, not the full point like DraftKings, but FanDuel did bring in the 100-yard bonus, the 300-yard passing bonus, rushing bonus, etc. For I think it's 3 points that they're giving you for that. Again, it'll be more dialed in when we get to it, but I'm almost positive it was the 3-point change. So that's definitely something that does change that. And my guy Nades, does it exist? Yeah, two $55 bomb winners for me last season over there, 100K a pop. So I'll still be playing on FanDuel. I just got to worry, do I actually get the money out once I win it on there? That's kind of the question. But anything you want to add on to that, Hoop, before we go to the next thing?
Yeah, in terms of FanDuel scoring, it's just another boost to the volume players. I mean, similar to DraftKings, where the high volume guys get rewarded. Now that just does it over on FanDuel as well. Then macro takes, what was the question? Any big macro DFS strategy takes for 2024 that might differ from 2023? Probably just the same thing that we've seen, more of a shift to running back by committee, I'd say, is probably the biggest difference. I think we do see a lot more teams cycle in more running backs. And then, that's a big thing we can talk about in a minute. But, more running backs being involved per team, probably more pass-heavy attack would be my guess. But we'll be able to analyze it, week by week and kind of see if we're right or wrong about that. And then, FanDuel has now chosen, which I do like actually, to include the Sunday Night Football game part of their main slate, which is a pretty interesting strategy piece.
Yeah, I'm going to bring up the next giveaway because Kevin brought it up here. He did just join, so shout out to Kevin. We appreciate you joining the nation. Welcome. But the next part of the giveaway, and you're going to go into this draw right away. So the next thing is going to be this. We did this last year, had some success with it. We're going to run this all the way till Sunday morning. So we're going to talk about this today. We've extended everything. I know it says September 5th on the site, but it's going to extend till September 8th, and it's going to tie into all of this so you can still get in on the early bird pricing. Anybody who buys a month, we're going to give away 3 annual upgrades. So if 100 people buy a month, 3 of them will get upgraded to annual. If only 3 people buy a month, they'll all get upgraded to annual. You guys do what you do. That's just a note. Anybody who buys the $249 or $299 or an all access package of the equivalent, we're going to upgrade to the next level. So if it was an annual for football, the $299 deal, which includes Shiptimizer and college football, we're not talking about that today, but just another note, it does come with it. You're going to get upgraded to a 6-month all access with Shiptimizer. So 3 people that buy the annual are going to get upgraded to the 6-month all access to have the 5 months of football plus the additional month when golf comes back and all of that getting ready there. So all the other sports we've got going on as well. And then if you buy all access pass, it will just be upgraded to the next, or we can double it or whatever, but we're going to make sure everybody gets taken care of. So shout out to Kevin on joining the nation. And that's going to be someone that goes into the draw right away. So if you're thinking of joining, now's the time. Anything else, Saru?
No. Yep.
Okay, really quickly, I'm going to show this under the Showdown one because we don't have the tutorial out yet, and we'll talk more about it on the show tomorrow. Again, Mayo Media Network, Hoop, Title, and myself. It's tomorrow at 1 Eastern. We'll be tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, I believe, right, Hoop? That's the time for tomorrow?
Yes, sir. 1 Eastern.
Yeah, and shout out to Todd. He just bought the 6-month all access. He's already had a couple of huge nights. DM me and showed me a couple big nights right out of the gates with baseball. So lots going on there. But real quick on this one, just so you guys see, this is what, build settings are pretty straightforward. If you guys don't know, you can just highlight over each item and sort of see what it tells you right there so that you can see, change your salary, change your total ownership, your min uniques, blend in the ceiling projections, change the randomness, how many of each spot and position you want it captain. But if you're looking at groups, this is one somebody asked about, so I want to put this out there now, is it's very easy to load a group like this. So I did Patrick Mahomes. Notice I picked the captain version of him. And then I just picked 4 guys in the flex. Let's use Kelsey, Pacheco, Rice, Watson, Hollywood Brown is out tomorrow. I already saw that news come out, but just real quick, the way I would set this up is I'm saying in any lineups with Patrick Mahomes, I'm anchoring him. I want to make sure I have at least 2 to 3 from this pool, which includes the guy I've anchored. So Patrick Mahomes, it means I'm getting at least 1 pass catcher, if not 2, in 100% of my Patrick Mahomes lineup. So it's very easy to use. It may be a change for you at first. It may be a little confusing or you're unsure, but it is very easy when you go through and just play around with it to find this stuff out. And then you can ask questions. We have a Shiptimizer channel in Discord. We have an NFL channel in Discord, and then same for all of the other sports that we carry. Hoop, anything else you want to add on Shiptimizer before we move on?
Yeah, the key is the anchor button there. So it's basically just saying, any lineup that has Mahomes captain, this is what you want to go along with it. So that's one thing that might be a little bit different than some of the other sites. Make sure you have the proper captain there. You have Mahomes and captain, and you're anchoring it. That's the key. And again, we'll be using this on the shows as well, so you can kind of see us walk through and build some teams.
It's the if-then that the other sites all have. It's the exact same thing. If this anchored Mahomes, again, make sure of the position. Don't put Mahomes in the flex in here and then try and do this, because that's just going to fix up all your flex spots that way. But you want to make sure that you're anchoring it and putting it in. So again, all the little things are there for you. This comes included with the membership. Let's move on to another thing that comes included with the membership. The one that people love is the stone. So Degenerate75 obviously orchestrated this. He had the Rosetta Stone. I pulled the old Justin Timberlake from what's that movie, Social Network, where he said, drop the. Just, I dropped the Rosetta, just the stone. I like it. It's the Degenerate75. It's the editor that helps him out and does a ton of work for us with the teams involved. So shout out to our great team over at SHIPIT Nation, including those guys. But we brought the stone, and now it's everywhere. Spoiler alert, it will be everywhere, but NASCAR, CFB, MMA, MLB, PGA for both Showdown and Main Slate, and NFL for both Showdown and Main Slate. And we're going to show it off here quickly. Again, it's not fully updated for the week. There'll be more as the year goes on. We bring some of the stats in, like the DVP stuff. But just so you guys see it, the stack ranking, we'll highlight these when we get to the stack rankings in a second, but just puts it all in one place for you guys so that you, again, if you're limited on time and you say, I don't have time to listen to 10 shows this week, I don't have time to listen to 3 different sites and all this other stuff, I just want everything in one place. We make it very easy for you. It's best used on desktop, but if you are on mobile, the PDF file is the secret code. That's the cheat code. It unlocks it. If you're on an iPhone, like you should be, or an Android, for those of you out there using those, you press PDF, it will simply open it up right away, and you can hop in there and you can see it look exactly the same. Zoom in, zoom out, do it. You can do it on the fly. Maybe you could sneak it in even at the soccer game. I don't know, but this is the best tool in DFS to put everything you need in one place. If you have no time at all, this could get it done for you alone. So, Hoop, I'm not sure if you want to add anything, but it's pretty self-explanatory, and I'll let people spend more time with it that are members over on the site, and we'll have a tutorial, but it's the same as what they're using for these other sports now, just brought across to NFL. And
a little birdie just told me if you refresh, the FanDuel ownership will be in there as well. So it's fully updated as we're doing it. And yeah, I mean, it's just a good starting point to go through, and you can just get a ton of different information here. Like, no matter what you're doing, what sort of contest you're playing, what you're looking for, I mean, you can find everything right here, the projections, the ownership, a variety of different pieces, the team totals, the spreads, whatever it is you're looking for. It's all here in one spot, easy to consume, very easy to consume and digest, which is very important for any piece of content that we're putting out here. Just a very, I'd say, like an all-encompassing product here, kind of brings everything together in one spot.
The team don't stop. They work around the clock. I got the same text editor just sent me. It's right there. I mean, they're just never ending with what they're doing and getting things designated and done. So it's all here. Easy to read. The last update. If you want to do more with it and play around with it yourself, again, on desktop, just download the XLSX file. You can highlight it your own way. You can delete games off it that are crossout games for you, and you can condense it down. There's anything you want, you can do with it, and it's only going to continue to get better as the year goes on and we get more data and things get drawn out. From there, we note injury risks. We note high upside plays. We note guys you can consider for cash. The games are noted when you get down to it. I'm not sure if that part is done yet. It's not, but just so you know, that'll be noted for the type of game. If you're looking for a sneaky game, a blowout, that sort of thing, all of that is there. So you're going to be able to find all that and more. And then if you go to the Showdown Stone right here under Showdown, the Stone, this has it all too. And this is what I keep saying, but like, this is what people are on SHIPIT Nation for. I know so many people think about it like the core plays and the value reports and all that. We have those too. We'll cover them quickly at the end, but this is really what we want you doing. We want you focused on creating your own process, finding the tools that work for you, make your life easier, save you time, in turn saving you money, and allow you to play more contests and pay less for your content. This is what you're paying for. It's not just somebody's picks that they're throwing up on the site where you have no idea who to go off of. You can use this yourself. The Showdown one works the same way. It's noted at the top, but this one is pretty much filled out for the most part. We'll have more updates to it, but just so you guys see, it reads very easily on the screen. If I just knock it out to 100% here, you could pretty much just go to the games once you know what the legends mean and see it all right on one screen. If you want to do some hand builds, you want to have your other monitor up where you're building your rules out on ShipTomizer, you can have all of this stuff. And yeah, the chat is pretty serious Android fans. I think we lost like 5 likes and 10 viewers too. So I apologize if I hit you the wrong way on that, but I like the blue bubbles. I like those that aren't ruining a good iMessage group chat. So I just tell it like it is. I'm very genuine. I want to make it as easy as possible. And for me, iPhone is the way. The Stone is much like that. Very easy to use. One thing, using the iPhone example, people always said it was meant to be that a 5-year-old could use it. When the iPad first came out, I remember this. I was working in electronics at the time. A 5-year-old can figure it out, or a 50-year-old or an 80-year-old. Like you can't mess it up. Music, guess what that is? Music. You click it. Photos, guess what's in that one? Photos. You cannot mess it up. So I know the other Androids have that too. I'm just giving you guys examples, though. We do want to make things as easily as possible, truly. So I think this is kind of the setup there. You guys can go use that now. It's up for members. Any other questions or comments, Hoop, that you saw, pull them up. But I'm going to keep moving here and go back to the other one that I wanted to show off, which is stack rankings. This was another huge one last year. A lot of people use this because it's not just the same as every other site. We're not just going to tell you that, stacking up the 3 best guys, some cases, that's what you get. But we actually put a value on it. And this had a ton of success last year. Nades and I reviewed it every Monday. Again, this year we'll have the Takedown Breakdown show where we'll go back and review some of this stuff. But essentially, it's showing you when you sort by value, it'll show you what team they play for, who's the quarterback, and then what is the best value of the 2 pass catchers with them. So setting up your stacks, and then what is their combined ownership? What is their combined salary? So if you're looking to spend and you need money, you can go here and say, okay, I've got the money. I'm able to afford DK Metcalf and JSN with Geno Smith. If you say, you know what? I need savings. I got to drop down. Maybe it is this one here. And obviously this will get chalkier as the week goes on. We're not here to talk the plays and the ownership yet, but just saying as this picks up steam, I'm sure you could see where people get to this stack and then the value could go up, but so will the ownership. So this is just another place to have it all in one spot where you can find some stacks that work for you. Maybe if you're only playing 3 to 5 lineups, you want to focus in on this. But last year, a lot of the top 10 was mixed in. And then the secret sauce was if you could find secondary stacks within this. So if you saw a lot of things that were coming up that were sort of the same game and not everybody was talking about, maybe this would be where you could go to find that out. And maybe if everybody is on it for their main lineups, you're finding some secondary stacks, a McMillan with Noah Brown instead of the full game stack that a lot of people push towards, or people are on Rashad White. Maybe you're moving to that game stack instead, mixing all those pieces, just lots of different ways that you can use it. And then Hoop, anything else you want to talk about there before I get to the final stuff? And then you guys start throwing your final questions in now. If you've got them, we are going to pick one more $100 Millie Maker winner ticket as well. But anything else there, Hoop, you want to add before we move on?
Yeah, just another piece of content that can be used in a variety of different ways. Like, if you want a cheap stack, you can obviously sort by the price tag over there. If you want an expensive stack, you can obviously sort by the price tag the opposite way. If you're looking for value, if you're looking for run backs, get the ownership here as well as the overall stack. It's just an all-encompassing product, again, that can be used in a variety of different ways over the course of the lineup building process. So really like this tool here.
And shout out to another huge part of our team, Monday, helping out with the projections for all sports, just crushing it behind the scenes. He's here in front of the stage today. Says stacks and stones can't break my phones unless they're Androids. Maybe Androids. We'll see. iPhones, those things don't break ever. Come on. But yeah, appreciate you, Monday. And he's grinding away on it as we speak. But these are the sort of things you want to do to be able to find it. And then also Nades talks about pulling the running backs from the stacks that are down the board. If the pass attack doesn't look as good, maybe you want to get that running back in there and you can combine it with the stuff you find on the site as you're able to go throughout. And then lastly, Hoop, I'm not going to really go to all of them. I'm going to highlight one piece, but just so people know from last year, we have our GPP core reports for both Showdown and Main. We have cash core reports for Showdown and Main. Hoop does the player pools on both Showdown and Main, and I do the slate plan on Showdown and Main. But then our guy Hamwich, we also do cover FanDuel. He does the FanDuel slate plan, which I used twice last year to win 100K and showed it off. It's all documented. You can't make it up. We used the exact version, went back to show how it all fit into the lineup together. So be checking it all out, but I don't suggest you just take everything off of it completely, as much as read into it, get your thoughts together, and help get you on your own line so that you can find your own way to the top so you're not sharing it with everybody else. So just look at it from different perspectives, try and do it that way, and hopefully the education course can help you guys with that as well. So, and then lastly, I want to show this one. This is the value report. For those, I mean, most probably know him, but if you've been in the DFS streets, our guy Scarface, Jerry, incredible dude, just crushes. He came 8th in the MLB Millie Maker last night, had a nice run at that one. Shout out to Coach, by the way. Coach has won 2 Millie Makers in the last 2 weeks. A lot of people know Coach from Rainmakers, different stuff, but he said he didn't win a Millie Maker for 10 years, kind of your story, Hoop. And then you won it. And for him, he didn't win it for 10 years, and now has won 2 in less than 2 weeks. So golf and baseball back-to-back, pretty wild stuff, but he said that he took a little bit of a bath on that Rainmaker stuff. So the karma is coming around his way. You absolutely love to see that. He puts in a lot of work. Man,
just as someone would have told you that the Rainmakers thing wasn't going to work out and it was a weird product, like myself. I mean, it was shocker. It didn't work.
You don't know if you want to take advice, though, because they've got those Tiger Woods NFTs still stacked up, too, that they're still thinking about. So
that's why actually, I got my buyout. I think I got like $5 for them.
Yeah, and good call. Jordan brought up a good point as well. Definitely want to bring up our guy Marley, always grinding in the streets with Title, who crushes it. We've got Rio for NBA. We've got Nades for NHL. We got our guy Eric behind the scenes for NASCAR. D-Gen and the entire college football team with Monday. We got all the guys there. There's a whole new team in Discord. Our guy Smarty, Hamhawk, Akasa, I'm Robbins, Bill, all these guys just absolutely crushing it. But yeah, another thing is for NFL, we do cover the other slates. And if you want to get in on some of the niche stuff with the tiers, the afternoon only slate, the primetime slate, our guy Marley does a great job of putting these together and covering them off. I'll go back to the Scarface Value Report in a second, but just to show it, he breaks it all down by tier for this one. He breaks it down for the afternoon where he gives you some of his ideas of what he's on for quarterbacks, running back, wide receiver, tight end, all that. So again, if you just don't have time, you want to get some action, definitely would love to see it. So that's something that you can do there. And then Value Report with our guy Scarface, who I brought up here. He's going to be joining us for core reports for the main and showdown slates, as well as he's going to be doing Value Report, much like our guy Lee Aldrich does for golf, only this one is going to be nothing in NFL goes out for free beyond all the shows and all that stuff that we do. So this will be behind the paywall for the members only, but Scarface is going to be doing 3 to 4 quarterbacks, 3 to 4 running backs, 4 to 6 wide receivers, 2 to 3 tight ends, and a couple of defenses, 2 to 3 there, just values only. So if you're looking for value, you want to see what he's doing with his value ranges, you think you've got the studs covered, you can hop over to this report as well. It's just another piece of content where it's not confusing. It's one guy. It's one of the best DFS players in the world doing it that actually puts a lot of his money where his mouth is. He has 4 top 5s in the Millie for NFL. He's been to all the live finals, multiple seats, many times. I've met him plenty of times. Excellent dude. Super excited to have him part of the team this year. Hoop, anything else on the content that you want to cover? We covered shows, contents, giveaways, Android being better than Apple. We've covered. I know it's out there enough now. So what else do you want to do? Anything else?
Very excited to have Jerry on board. Obviously, just to add on to that. Again, we very specific about who joins our team, who represents this company, and Jerry's a perfect fit. I mean, he really encapsulates. I don't even know if that's the right word.
Encapsulates.
There, that word. Everything that we're trying to do at SHIPIT Nation, and he is going to be a big part of what we do this NFL season. Very talented, not only on the content side, but the playing side. I mean, so much success. I mean, just so much success playing himself. And he's going to be a huge boost to our community. So very excited to have Jerry on board.
All right. I've got the last, at least unless you've got another one, we could run one back, one more again, maybe give 4 away. But the third $100 Millie Maker memory just says is not really a full memory as much as all the stuff brought under one roof, but founding family member, learned so much this past year. So they've been around with us for at least a year. A lot of people are sticking around for a long time and playing the other sports and learning them because there's tutorials that you can get involved with, education courses, all of that. But says biggest boost has been the guidance around contest selection and lineup designs to fit the contest. This is a huge part that goes overlooked. And I want to talk about that for 2 seconds because when other sites are just putting up the content, they forget. I had a Allen Iverson-esque rant on the Mayo Show last week because I said it's not about playing the sport. It's about DFS, not about the game. It's about practice. He talked about it's what we focus on is so much about DFS and not about this stat or that thing or this data piece or all that. We're combining it all together because we are playing a game against other people. The entire community is focused on that. And here's a quick example. You go to the Thanksgiving dinner, your brother-in-law or someone who plays fantasy football, there's no shame to the unit or the amount that he plays for. It's that they know football and they're telling you all about it. And you don't even want to get into the DFS conversation because they're just not going to get it. They're not going to understand how you're putting up hundreds per slate or $50 a slate. They're putting it up for the season. They're not going to understand the day-to-day of it, the game against the other people, the game theory, the strategy, the correlation, the leverage. They don't get any of that stuff. And so instead, you don't even want to get into it with them and you just let them ride their wave and be like, oh yeah, I like fantasy football too. And just let them get away with it because you don't want to go into it. That's what our community is different. And what it's all about is it's people that understand what you're talking about and they're helping you. And hopefully you can skip some of the mistakes myself, Hoop, the rest of our team, other members have made along the way and get you fast tracked to being in a better spot with things like contest selection. We've been crushing satellites lately. The SHIPIT Nation logos are everywhere in these higher dollar, smaller field because people are just saying, I know what these other guys are going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. And it only has to pay off every so often for me to really pay it off big time. So shout out to some of our high rollers that are out there doing that. And then he says also CFB Discord is the best. Again, with our football package, it is all that we offer for NFL, Shiptimizer for NFL. If you go with the Shiptimizer package at $299 and CFB projections, ownership, the stone for CFB, the core report and the player pool, plus the Discord channel with all the up-to-date news. So Penguin, add me in Discord. Make sure you've got me in there and just hit me up and I'll get you set up with your $100 as well. Hoop, any final member that you want to give it to for just a bonus $100? Why not? We always give away.
Yeah, one more written down. Let me find it real fast. And where did it go? Here it is from our boy Joe. No specific memory, more just an entire season of camaraderie and people wanting to help each other. My NFL season wasn't the best, which is fine. Not everyone's going to win at this. That's the one thing to point out. Like, it's very hard to be super profitable playing DFS. So not everyone's going to win, but the goal is to get you on the track to winning, make you a better player. And he goes on to say, but I got better as the season went, all due to the best DFS site. So really appreciate that. And the honesty, again, that's an honest statement. And I definitely appreciate that. And it kind of goes to what we're all about, making you a better player, giving you a better chance to be successful at something that we all enjoy doing. And it's the beauty of this community. And it's going to be the beauty of this community moving forward, because that's what we're all about. And it's not going to change.
And no people like this, the ones that can't read when they come in, when it said content and Q&A around the launch show for our NFL season. So thanks for showing up, Frank. We appreciate you, but might want to head back to grade 1, learn how to read, my friend. So I got nothing else, Hoop. I think we've done all the giveaways. Again, if you do want to join the nation, up to you. We highly recommend you check it out. Hopefully this was able to show you guys everything we've got to offer. We broke down the show schedule, broke down the content schedule. We'll be in the Discord. Other members are in there. If you sign up, you just go to Join the Nation or click the link at the top. All access, less than $100 a month, gets you all the sports we cover across the board here, everything that comes with them, and Shiptimizer for all those sports as well for $99. If you go to single sport, it's simple. It's $54 a month or $64 with the Shiptimizer, $249 for the annual, or $299 with the Shiptimizer. Everything you need to find success with DFS. That's going to do it for this one, guys. We appreciate you so much. For Hoop, for myself, ToeTagginTambo, let's ship it.
Obviously, I'm a part of the SHIPIT Nation community. I enjoy the Discord. I get a lot of information out of the Discord, and then I use the site, so all the slate plans, slate info, all that, the DVP stuff. I would say join a site because they do help and you get all the information and it saves you so much time.